All right, let's dive straight into this explainer. Today, we are building a definitive, completely data-backed playbook for unstoppable social media growth. We're tossing out those useless vanity metrics and chasing fleeting viral trends. Yeah, we're done with that. Instead, we are focusing entirely on what actually drives predictable, scalable results for your business right now.
So, here's our game plan. We're tackling 4 core pillars today. We'll start with the power of consistency, move on to driving interactive audience engagement, then look at precision hashtags by platform, and finally wrap up with long-term influencer partnerships.
Let's just jump right into pillar number 1, the power of consistency. It's the absolute foundation that algorithms reward and, honestly, what your audience actually expects.
Okay, get this. Highly consistent users receive literally 5 times more engagement per post. Look, I know, consistency isn't exactly the sexiest marketing strategy in the world, but you just can't argue with the math. Buffer did this massive study of over 100,000 users across all the major platforms, and they proved that if you want the likes, the comments, the shares, simply showing up regularly is your absolute most powerful lever.
But honestly, here is the absolute best part of that study. You don't even have to be perfect to see massive results. They found that even moderately consistent posters, we're talking people posting just 5 to 19 weeks out of a 26-week period, they still saw 4 times more engagement than the completely inconsistent group. Seriously, you don't need a viral miracle every time you log in. You just need to show up with something valuable. I want you to think of social media growth exactly like compound interest in your bank account. It's a sustainable, long-term system, right? Not a lottery ticket. Sure, one short reel or a quick story might feel like a tiny drop in the bucket today, but day after day, month after month, they create this unstoppable snowball effect. People trust and ultimately buy from brands they see consistently in their feeds. If you aren't posting, well, you practically don't exist in their world. And to really understand why that constant presence matters so much, check out this staggering data from Hockey Stack. It now takes a massive 71 touchpoints to generate a single B2B marketing qualified lead on LinkedIn. 71! And that's up from 54 just a year ago. That basically means your buyers need nearly 900 impressions before they finally decide to take action. So if your posting schedule is all over the place, you're essentially just ghosting your customers right in the middle of their buying journey.
So how do you actually hit that massive volume without completely burning out your team? Well, you have to tap into the content goldmine you already own. Please don't reinvent the wheel every single Tuesday. Look at your website, your annual reports, your sales decks, past webinars. Take a single 30-minute webinar recording and literally slice it up into a dozen short snippets. The material is already there. You just need a systematic way to repackage the whole shebang.
And when you do repackage that content, you really need to lean heavily into video. Why? Because video gets shared a mind-blowing 1,200% more than text and images combined. 1,200%. Tweets with video get 10 times the engagement. And on LinkedIn, video pulls in 5 times the engagement of a standard text post. So take those chopped up sales decks and blog posts, turn them into dynamic short-form video stories, and I promise you that consistency is going to start paying huge dividends.
All right, so we've got a consistent engine running. Let's move on to pillar number 2, driving interactive audience engagement.
Think about it. How do you actually get someone to pause their thumb in a totally chaotic feed? It's simple. You ask for their opinion. Interactive content, things like a quick poll or a Q&A sticker, makes your audience feel valued. Plus, it feeds the algorithm exactly what it's hungry for, really high interaction rates. You aren't just broadcasting at them anymore, you're inviting them to actively shape your brand. And these social platforms absolutely love and reward that two-way participation.
Okay, if you want people to actually play along, follow this quick 3-step workflow. First, keep it highly relevant to your niche. Don't just ask random, unrelated questions. Second, make it quick to answer. Any kind of friction is the absolute enemy of engagement. And third, and this is so crucial, always share the results. People miss this step all the time. By showing the final outcomes and thanking your audience, you close that feedback loop and prove that their little click actually mattered.
Okay, they're engaging with you. Awesome. Now let's dive into pillar 3, getting that content discovered in the first place through precision hashtags by platform.
Here's the thing. Hashtag rules are absolutely not a one-size-fits-all deal. If you copy-paste the same block of text everywhere, your posts are just going to look spammy. You've got to play by the platform's specific rules. For example, Instagram hits a nice sweet spot right around 4 to 6 tags. But look over at TikTok. Starting in 2025, they are strictly capping users at a maximum of 5 hashtags per post.
Meanwhile, places like X and Facebook, they really favor a minimalist approach, just 2 or 3 tags max.
So, how are you supposed to find the right tags? First off, stop guessing. You really need a strategic mix of niche and trending hashtags. Here, think about it. If you use a super generic tag, your content instantly gets buried under millions of posts. But if you use an obscure one that nobody is searching for, well, you've got zero audience. You need to analyze what your competitors are doing successfully, monitor trending topics, and always keep a unique, branded hashtag in your back pocket to gather up all that great user-generated content from your community. Moving right along to our fourth and final pillar, we're pivoting from algorithmic discovery to scaling actual, real human trust through long-term influencer partnerships. Brianna Doe, the founder of Verbatim, hit the nail on the head with this one. She says it's a lot harder to build trust off of 2 sponsored posts, and she is so right. Audiences today are incredibly savvy. They can spot a forced, scripted promotion a mile away. If a creator drops your brand into their feed just once and then poof, never mentions it again, the trust just isn't there. Real credibility has to be built up indirectly over time through always-on, really intentional ambassador programs. It's pretty simple. Modern brands really need to abandon these expensive one-off vanity campaigns. Take Yamasaki Home, for example. They used to spend 6 figures on these rigid one-off campaigns that basically just bought very expensive, very fleeting awareness. But when they completely shifted their strategy to an always-on, performance-based ambassador model, they literally tripled their influencer-driven revenue in just 18 months. And they did it while managing fewer but much higher quality partnerships. A total game changer. So whether you're looking at a highly trusted micro-influencer or a massive macro creator, I want you to ignore the follower count for a second. Seriously, look past it. Instead, look at their engagement intent. Dive into their comment section. Are their followers actually asking meaningful questions about the product, or are they just leaving a generic endless trail of fire emojis? A smaller but fiercely engaged audience will crush a massive indifferent audience every single time when it comes to actual conversions. To make these long-term partnerships actually work for you, you need a structure that rewards tangible results. The most successful modern collaborations use what's called a hybrid compensation model. That means a flat fee for the creator's time and production, plus an affiliate commission tied directly to the sales they drive. Hand them your SMART goals, absolutely, but then let them act as the creative director. Trust me, they know exactly how to speak to their own audience way better than your rigid brand script ever could.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today. Let's bring all of this together and look at building your unified growth engine.
By layering these strategies, relentless consistency, interactive features, precise discovery, and authentic long-term partnerships, you are essentially creating a compounding system that reliably grows your business. No more just crossing your fingers and praying for a viral hit. You are now systematically repackaging your best content, engaging followers with quick interactive polls, optimizing your reach with the exact right hashtags, and leveraging the genuine trust of creators. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Take a hard look at where you are spending your time and your budget right now. Are you building a sustainable community and investing in the compounding interest of consistency? Or are you just paying for a few seconds of temporary noise? It is time to stop renting attention and start building a real system. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.